Tell me what your day has been like today. What'd you do today?
I loaded some trucks this morning. I carried some food to, what's the name of it? It's a little town up the road about a half mile from here.
Swannanoa?
I carried some food there. Now I loaded another truck, and now I brought some stuff over here, and that's pretty much it so far for today. But I gotta go work on the generator now and fix the generator.
So where are you staying? You don't live here, right?
Now I stay up here where you got the supplies at. I stay in that building up there.
Yeah.
It's like a little cottage, I think, maybe.
What's one thing you need?
What I need?
Yeah.
I don't need anything.
Nothing?
I just need to help these people, that's it.
What's one piece of advice you would give people in this area right now?
To be kind and help others. Help your neighbors out.
Tell me about your day.
My day was relatively normal. I got up, had breakfast, went to work, met with colleagues.
Tell us where you work.
I work at Medlock & Associates Engineering.
And what do you do?
I kind of manage our office, our operations.
Do you have running water there?
At the office, no. Absolutely not. We did have an issue which has been resolved. You should not use a toilet if you cannot flush that toilet. That should be common sense to people.
Who was the guilty party?
I do not know who the phantom shitters were.
There was more than one?
My understanding there were several phantom shitters.
Oh God.
Yes. I think all of us have pissed outside. And I think all of us have found out like where's a good place to go, and
we're all scoping places to go to the bathroom as we walk around.
Absolutely.
It's a big, it's something that everybody does, and you have to figure it out.
Yeah,
right?
and if you can,
We've maintained decorum and are only shitting in our toilet.
for now.
Look at you,
For
fancy
now.
pants.
For now.
What's one thing you need?
Personally, I don't need anything. We've been very fortunate. We restored power early. We restored water early because we're on a well. We had plenty of food, and because power came on early, we were able to keep that food. And now we're trying to share what we can with others.
And now, what's one piece of advice you would give your fellow people of Asheville?
Heed warnings that come in on emergency alert systems. If you're told to evacuate, evacuate. There's a community in Fairview called Garin Creek, and the floodwaters from Black Mountain hit Swannanoa. They crossed underneath 40 and they hit Garin Creek. And I don't know what the current numbers are, but we had volunteer firefighters at the house the other day checking on my mom, and there were 150 people missing. And that same guy told us there's 1,500 people missing in Chimney Rock.
Is Gladys Knight okay?
Gladys Knight, I do not know. She lives on a hill, so I would say yes. Yeah, she lives on a big hill, so Gladys Knight should be fine. I can't speak to the Pips.
Tell me about your day.
My day, I am staying at my boyfriend's house, and my mom came over to take a shower and fill up water, and I got to play with the dogs, and I finally have internet, so I got to work a little bit, and now I'm here. We're having drinks with friends, and it finally feels like a little bit of normalcy.
It does.
What's one thing you need?
I don't need anything. I feel really lucky and blessed.
You need to get to Wisconsin.
Well, I do need to work, unfortunately, but I feel really like I should be helping, and I feel like I'm in a good place comparatively to everybody else. So.
Do you have a piece of advice that you would give other people in Asheville?
Well, I feel like I've been really inspired about like how everybody's come together and like communities and neighbors helping neighbors, and I think through this whole thing is just to keep giving everybody grace, and nobody knows how everybody deals with these situations, and just to you don't know where everybody's coming from, so just try to give everybody grace.
You don't need anything, but is there something that you see a need in the community for?
Well, I finally feel like all the stuff is coming in, like water and like the things that are needed, as like gas, like the grocery stores are starting to reopen. So doesn't feel like any emergency needs, but I know that there's a lot of communities outside of Asheville that are cut off and in much worse shape. So now that like our communities come together, I feel like we need to start trying to help these communities that are still cut off and having trouble getting supplies and things like that. We were just starting to get news because we didn't have internet, so like we don't even know the extent of the damage in some of these really small towns. So I think that that's where we have to like start looking outward of where we can help, because we're lucky here.
Yeah.
Tell me about your day.
Today was spent a little bit of cleaning, but mostly like just filling out applications for FEMA aid and unemployment. I work in a restaurant, so I've lost my job, and also just going through the bureaucracy of trying to fill out online applications when the internet is spotty and my cell phone calls drop. It's just been frustrating.
Very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
What restaurant do you work at?
Ukiah Japanese Smokehouse.
Oh yeah, that's a great place.
Thank you.
So have they told you anything like we anticipate opening?
Yeah, we have a group chat going, and it's been great. It's been very supportive, a lot of resources between all the employees and the owners. And today we heard from the head chef and the principal owners, and they were very just open and honest. Like they don't know what's going to happen, and they're just trying to be honest. We're not going to lie to you. We don't know what's going to happen because of we don't know how long the water's going to be out. We've heard estimates anywhere from 4 weeks to 2 months, and restaurants operate on a razor thin margin, and to be closed like that, could send you under. They're going to do everything they can. They've set up a GoFundMe for us. They're communicating what they know, but they know very little too. So they're pointing us in the right directions as far as like the aid organizations like FEMA, and there's also some specific aid organizations dedicated to restaurant employees that I just learned about today.
Well, that's great.
2 of them, and so I've got those applications going as well.
There are some places that are open, right? Or like, how are these places serving food?
First of all, everyone's got a walk-in full of food that's going to go bad. So, like we just cooked all of our food and brought it out to the sidewalk and just gave it away. We brought food to the hospital because the nurses and doctors didn't have food. A lot of restaurants are going to close in this city. A lot of them are not going to make it.
What's one thing you need?
For no tourists to come for fall, for leaf season.
And why is that? Tell me why.
Well, our water system was over 110 years old. And when it was designed, 110 years ago, the population of Asheville was, let's say 10,000, 20,000. And the person the engineer who designed it was designing a 100-year system, anticipating the growth of the city. And he probably pegged it at right around 90,000, 100,000. And that is our population in Nashville. And last year we had 10.3 million tourists visit Asheville. The wear and tear on the infrastructure, it just wasn't designed for it. And we have this Tourism Development Authority that reaps millions off of the hotel room occupancy tax. And all they spend it on is advertising to bring in more tourists. And this city just collapsed because of that. And the city's been, trying for years to get a couple of percentage points of that tax. No, instead they buy advertising at the US Open in New York. They buy glossy ads in magazines. They run TV commercials. Visit Asheville. It's greed.
So devil's advocate, should people just stay home?
Stay home.
I mean, I'm talking...
Again, I work in the citrus industry. This fall leaf season is when we make our money. And so I'm saying, and until the people that are controlling that money start making smart decisions, and a smart decision is infrastructure.